Good afternoon, everyone. Today is, of course, that day where it is Conversations for Humanity, of course, powered by Bringing Humanity Together, and that is Conversations for Humanity. So we're so humbled and honored to have each and every single one of you here today. Of course, our special guest is already here. You see her; she's right beside me. Ipek Williamson from all the way from Canada is going to be sharing her story with us today on Conversations for Humanity, and we're so humbled and honored to have her here today. And again, we're always going to be going to do these calls every Wednesday, and I'll be posting the link. So if you want to come share your story on Conversations for Humanity, please do. We have slots already built in, if I remember right, all the way into November already. So please pick your spots. People are picking them up left and right. So we like to have that for each and every single one of you. So again, welcome everyone to the Bringing Humanity Together live stream. This is one of three open forums under the Bringing Humanity Together umbrella where people can discuss topics related to the workplace and humanity in the workplace in a very positive and constructive way. We want to know what the issues are out there that are facing people today because it's our goal, our mission, our passion, our purpose, and I dare say our calling here at Bringing Humanity Together to create environments that people will love, not only in our workplaces, but also in our very communities. And as always, we'll be going live every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Our community calls are booked in at the beginning and the end of the week. If you'd like to join those calls, please send me a message and I will send you the details straight away. We have those calls at 3 o'clock both on Friday and also on Mondays. Fridays is done via LinkedIn Audio. Mondays is done via Google Meet. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're all either LinkedIn Audio or on like today, Conversation for Humanity on Wednesday. If you want to join those calls, please send me a message. So without no further ado, our special guest, Ipek, was going to be sharing her story with us today. Ipek, how you doing today on Wonderful Wednesday?
I'm very well, and I'm very happy to be with you, Chris. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here today and everything like that. So to kind of give people the lay of the land, kind of tell people where you're from, and maybe even tell people how me and you got connected.
Yeah, sure. I am joining you from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Sarnia is a border city with Michigan, US, and I am very close to the border. But originally, I am from Turkey. I was born in Istanbul and lived most of my life in Turkey up until I was 37, I think. Then I moved to Canada, and last 16, almost 17 years, I have been in Canada. So I think we met through the Biz Catalyst 360 Humans
Mm-hmm.
First movement. That's where we both are still. I think we are connected through there. And I remember reading your life story actually that you shared on this Catalyst 360 website. And I was very impressed and very taken aback, really. It's an amazing story you have there. So, and then I think I reached out to you about it, and then we got
Mm-hmm.
to talking, and then here we are.
And see that is sometimes the way things work is that we just we just can take an opportunity like when someone shares a story or someone shares a community that you're involved in and whatever the case may be, what ends up happening, next thing you know, one thing leads to the next, and then you got to know who they are. And I truly believe, Ipek, the better
Mhm.
question to ask is not what you do, is who are you.
Mhm.
And then once you get in tune with that, I truly believe it just changes the whole not only state of being for everybody, but really creates a place and space to where people can actually be a part of each other's life in a way to where you can have growth potential, thriving potential. You can really get connected to them. Because, see, what I truly believe, Ipek, what we have done probably for eons is we let our perceptions control what we actually see. And what we think is, hey, this is who Chris is. He's always about this and all that. But what if that was completely the other way around? And we really truly don't know. And that is why I truly believe when we build a bridge to and with people in such a way, not only does it work in our world, but works in theirs. I truly believe the next gift that comes to pass, and I truly believe it's not only the very definition of change, but like I said, it is that gift, which is transformation. And we can have that from everyone on this planet. And the way we can do it is maybe just having a conversation, having a smile with somebody, opening up a door, giving in, and maybe even an opportunity. You just never know because you don't know what's going on in their lives. So maybe by just showing up as who you are, maybe that'd just be enough.
Until you hear the story of anyone, you cannot know what they are going through or what they went through in their past. So
Right.
and in general, we decide the first few seconds about any person coming our way, whom they might be. And this is just, as you said, a perception. It's not the truth. So when you get to know the person, when you start to listen to their story, and then you make a informed decision about that person. So we need to be mindful in judging people from their cover, a book from its cover.
Right.
So we need to be really attentive.
So let me ask you this, Ipek.
Mm.
Uh, what really wanted you to say, "Hey, I got to move to Canada, Turkey. I know it's my home. It's where I was born and
Mm.
raised." But the thing that really, because I never knew this about you, I never knew that you were even from Turkey. What really said that I got to take a much
Mhm.
smaller step and go to Canada? What really was the thing that really said you got to go?
It's so interesting, Chris. In I think around 2000, year 2000, me and my husband at the time and my son, we came to the US to visit
Hmm.
some relatives. And when I came to North America, I felt I am home. Like I came home. This is home. I was away and I am now home. So when I felt that, that triggered something. And at the time, my husband and I were already thinking about moving somewhere, and the life economy and politics and everything was not going very well in Turkey.
Yeah.
There was an economical crisis, and like people were losing their jobs left and right. So there was no like very big uncertainty, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you are raising a child. So we thought, let's why don't we go to Canada? Because with US you need to get like getting green card is hard, more difficult, and with Canada you can apply for immigrancy, and according to your skill set you might get it. So we wanted to try our chance with Canada, and we applied, uh, and then it was 2001, and the twin tower, the 9/11 happened.
Oh, that's right.
9
Yes.
9/11 happened. As soon as we applied, 9/11 happened, and then Canadian embassy stopped all, like they did not touch anything for 2 years. two
Are you
years
kidding me?
Yes. So all in all, it took us 5 years to get our approval to
Jeez.
come to Canada. And in 2006, we came for the first time, and then we went back. It was just a short time, it wasn't our permanent move. And then in 2007, we sold our home, we left our jobs, and we moved. So that's how we came, and that's why we chose Canada. And besides, we had some friends in Canada too, so it was also a factor in choosing to come to Canada, and I'm very happy that we did. Though our marriage fell apart.
Yeah.
So 2 years later, my husband went back to Turkey, and I stayed with my son all by myself, without any support system here, without too many friends, because it was only 2 years since we moved to Canada. So it was a very short time to create a community, a support system. Uh, but I was lucky that I I had my now husband, who is a Canadian, Craig, to come my way, and I am so lucky to say that like we have an amazing relationship. We have amazing three adult children between us. I have one son, and he has two sons. And we just celebrated Thanksgiving. That's this past weekend. It was Thanksgiving in Canada. As you know, it is in October. Unlike US, it is in November. So they came and we celebrated as a family. And I must say, I'm living the dream. I'm living the best days of my life these days.
So then the question then becomes then, because now you got me really interested. I got to know more. Um, how did you and your current husband even meet?
We met at the company we worked. We worked at the same company at the
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yes, that's how we met. Yeah. It was a pharmaceuticals company, and we met there, and then we got married, and then I left the company. He stayed longer, and then he left too. So then we did other things. But yeah, that's where we met.
Oh, wow. And is that company an international company, or is it just only a Canadian based company?
It's a Canadian-based company with some offices in Cyprus and Europe and
Okay.
US. Yes.
So they do
Yeah.
have some of an international footprint, but it's not
Yes,
really.
and I was the executive assistant to the president, because
Wow.
my background is I was an executive assistant, and in Turkey I worked in a pharmaceuticals company as the executive assistant to the president and general manager, and then he became president, and I worked with him almost 10 years. And
Wow.
if I didn't move to Canada, I'm pretty sure I would retire from that job. Like I would work until I retire, because it was
Right.
he was an amazing boss to work with, and the company was really good. But when we came to Canada, even my boss helped me get my job here in Canada, because we had connections with some Canadian companies, pharmaceuticals companies that we did work with. And he arranged for me to get a job. And my job was ready. I came to Canada in two months' time. I started working again as an executive assistant to the president of that pharmaceuticals company. So, and then I worked like almost 10 years, 6.5 with that person, and then that company, and then at another company. So, all in all, overall, I have over 20 years of background as an executive assistant.
Now this is going to be a quink and dink, but this is going to blow your mind. My wife, who I've been married to for over a great number of years now, as it is, but I've been with her for over 25.
Mhm.
She started as a pharmacy technician back in the days of Kmart, years and
Mhm.
years and years ago. She still works
Mhm.
as a pharmacy technician today. I'm sure you two will swap stories like nobody's business, because I know you can say, hey, this is what we did here and this, that, and the other, and she can tell you all the stories about how she has to
Yeah.
have given up shots and how many things when it comes to C2s and all. I mean, there's so
Mm.
much I'm sure you can share, but she knows a lot. She knows a lot
Mhm.
about the insurance, how that works, and all that kind of stuff. And since we're in Florida, Florida is like usually the Canadian capital of snowbirds. People come to
Oh,
Florida like nobody's business from Canada. And in the pharmacy that she works at, she does have a lot of people who are just literally snowbirds that only will be here from X amount of months and they go back. And then that's what they
yeah.
do. They have homes down here and all that kind of stuff. But
Mhm.
I want to dive in more into. You said you were in here in the U.S. How long were you actually in here in the U.S. for?
Very, very short time, like all around 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that. But I
Okay.
when I went at that time, I went to uh, Washington D.C. and then New York City. And when I was in Washington D.C., like Virginia, I really felt like these are the streets I walked. It was so weird. Like this is my home. I came home. Like it was unbelievable. And uh, maybe
So when you saw,
I had another life before.
yeah.
Like I lived
So
there.
so when you walked down the National Mall and you saw all the statues and all those
Yeah.
kind of things, it really gave you that sense that you're actually here, you're actually home.
Yes, yes, it was so weird, so interesting. I've never had that before. Because I went to many places, nowhere I felt that way. So interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, Ipek, when we allow that in our lives, it can literally give us a sense of not only meaning but of purpose. And that goes right into why you are here. You're here to come to share your story. So it is the
Mhm.
top of the hour. So Ipek,
Mm.
please come share your story on Conversation for Humanity. The floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. So, my story. So, as I said, I was an executive assistant over 20 years. And then I was working at a job, and I told this story as a part of a book, actually, the Mission Hope book that Shar Murphy from again Biscalis 360 family uh, brought together, and one of the chapters is my story about this. I was working at a company, and again, I was the executive assistant to the president. But while working there, I received another offer from another company, and it was a really good offer, and it was closer to home, a bigger company, better reputation. It was a female president. It was a first for me. I always worked with male top managers. So it all in all, everything was much better, and it was a better position too, because I was gonna be not only be an executive assistant, but also I was gonna manage two other executive. So I was gonna be a senior executive assistant. Everything looks perfect. So I said, okay, I'll take this job. And I left my company and started working for the other one. And and I have a spotless background, spotless career. Everybody like gives me all kinds of best performance reviews and everything. And I started this company, and 2.5 months later, they let me go. I lost my job. Yes. And it was so hard for me, because I felt like my whole identity was taken away from me, and that was who I am at the time. And now when I look back, uh, it is sad that it was my whole identity, actually, uh, because I'm much more than that. Now I know, but at the time I didn't. So it floored me. Really, I felt like I am zero. I'm not worthy anything. Like I'm garbage. Uh, then it obviously I was quite depressed for a long while. And there were some reasons why they did that, and now I see that, I can understand, and I I see it as a blessing for
Mm-hmm.
me, actually, because without that happening, uh, I would most probably continue my career as an executive assistant, and I wouldn't have the opportunity to find out that I have so much more potential in me, that I can uh, change people's lives through coaching, through meditation. Uh, I wouldn't be able to find that about myself. So now I'm seeing obviously as a blessing, but at the time it was so hard to go through it. And it took me months to get back on my feet, and starting to think, okay, what's next? What's next? So I I always have been a meditator for a few years before that. And I must say, meditation literally saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, I I realized that I need to find out my life purpose. What is it? And I kept meditating and asking myself, or asking the universe while meditating, what's next? What's next? What's next? And one day I was meditating, and I remember it like yesterday. I was right outside at the back porch, sitting and outside meditating. All of a sudden, I heard a voice in my head. It said, "Be patient." I was like, "Oh," I opened my eyes, like, I was like, "Oh my god, I heard it, like, literally heard a voice in my inside my head." Then, I said, "Okay, I will be patient." And within 2 weeks or so, someone, because at the time I was writing a blog, and it my blog was really letters to myself, like a diary, like a self motivation, trying to motivate myself. I was writing every day on my blog, and somehow, and I was posting it a little bit on LinkedIn too. So somehow he saw my posts, because nobody was even seeing them. Someone from LinkedIn, he saw my posts and he said, "Look, we are a group of people. We want to support each other's posts, and I see your posts are really, really good. I love your blogs. Would you like to join us?" I said, "Sure." And then I did. And then at the time I had, I don't know, 500, less than 500 connections. Like in a very short period of time, I got to 1,000, and then 2,000 and 3,000, and like it exploded. And by that time, I also talked to a another coach in that group, and she said, "Look, I have been talking to you for a while, and I see so much potential in you to be a good coach." And I said, "Yes, I know that, but I think I need training for that." And she said, "I know just the person to put you in contact with." And she did. And sure enough, I really liked that person, and I started my training. It's inside coaching community, and I got my certification. In the meantime, I also received meditation training so that I can be a meditation teacher too. I got Ho'oponopono training, Ikigai training, mind mastery, like so many things that I studied. And in the meantime, I started coaching, and here I am. Coaching is my life, and meditation is my life. And beyond being a coach, mentor, meditation advocate, and teacher, speaker, and author now, I see myself as a change champion. And like a catalyst for transformation, with a passion for guiding people through the complexities of modern life. And I specialize in helping, in general, overwhelmed people create a sense of peace and harmony through my coaching methodology. And that is inspired by and supported by core values, mental fitness, with the help of positive intelligence operating system now. And as I said, mind mastery is really a good tool for me too. So I love working with individuals and teams who are going through the turbulent waters of change. And it's fun enabling them to embrace transformation with confidence, joy, and on their own terms. I also share my teachings and meditations through the amazing Insight Timer app in the form of recorded tracks and live talks and meditation sessions. So I really love that community, and I have over 5,000 followers there. And when I do my live sessions that I do every week, twice a week, um, in general, I have over 100 people joining me every time. Today we had 174, I think, because I do on Wednesdays. I get up very early on Wednesdays. It's my session is at 6:30 a.m. And I get up at 5. So Wednesdays are always the longest day for me. Yeah, so that's my story, and that's my ikigai. Ikigai is my is life purpose, and I found my life purpose as teaching meditation and coaching people to find their authentic self, the power that they have within.
And see, what really just warms my heart is you found that moment in your life that you said, you know what, I'm not about the pharmacy industry anymore. I'm not about my divorced husband anymore. I found a new life. This is what I want to do. But you found that calling in that very journey, did you not?
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That, the biggest growth happens in the lowest point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to get to the lowest point to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so because there's nowhere else to go anymore, you have to bounce back. You have to come back with something. And when you take the time to like, it was a mandatory taking time for me to find myself. And I really see COVID had the same impact on millions of people out there, because it pushed everybody to slow down, to stop, and turn around and look at themselves. That's why so many people left their careers, because they realized that there is more to life than this. I want to have more. Oh, we have someone joining us.
Yes. All
Howdy.
the way from California, Carly is here with us. Carly, has been far too long. How are you doing?
I've just been loving hearing Ipek's story and resonating a lot with it. I've been listening over LinkedIn the whole time, and I just was feeling a lot of resonance, and yeah, thought I'd jump on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you for coming in and saying this to me. I really appreciate it. Lovely.
And Carly, I have to say, Ipek, she is great people because she showed me something that was really phenomenal, and me and her definitely need to talk about it some more. And we got some other stuff to share with you, anyways. But she's all about intentionality and flow, and she really has brought that into her life, and that's why I wanted her to be a part of bringing humanity together. because she has that unique gift. And Carly's been a blessing to me. And Carly, I know it's been a
Mm.
while, but I'm glad that you're here with us today.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I just feel so much resonance with I'm also a
Mhm.
meditation teacher and breathwork teacher, and just your story of like having the voice, having the moment of receiving guidance and just really trusting it and continuing to learn the tools that
Mhm.
that light you up. And I love hearing that you're hosting all of these meditations live, and uh and
Yeah.
and have meditations on Insight Timer, which I've been teaching classes and whatnot for a long time, but I haven't taken those steps. So I'm just like, dang girl, you're inspiring me right now.
That's lovely. Carly, let me tell you a story about that. Um, so I knew that meditation is life changing. It's changing our brain chemistry. And it's like meditation is the best medication. That's how I see it. Because it builds up, it's like exactly like antidepressants. I see it because it builds up in our system in time. Like it's not you meditate one day and you're cured. You need to continue with your practice for a while for it to show its full impact, positive impact on us. And uh, going from 2020 to 2021, my new year resolution was I'm gonna touch 10,000 people through meditation. But this is the idea. I don't know how and where did that come from, but that was my intention for the year 2021. And January, February, March, nothing. I continue meditating myself, but no idea is coming. In the meantime, one of my coaching clients mentioned about this app, Insight Timer, and I downloaded it. It's on my phone, but that's it. I didn't even use it. And then in April, I had a call with a friend from LinkedIn, actually, Jane, and she told me about, and she's a yoga nidra teacher herself. She said, "Hey, Ipek, I know you were thinking about teaching meditation. There's this app, Inside Timer. Did you hear about that?" I said, "Oh yeah, I heard about that. I have that app on my phone." And she said, "Did you know that they are accepting teachers?" Uh, I said to myself, "Oh my God, this is it. This is it that will take me to my goal." You won't believe me. We I hang up with her in 1 week time. In 1 week time, I was a teacher for Insight Timer. And there are quite a few things that you need to like do to be like accepted. Like you have to have at least two meditation tracks to record. You have to have this, you have to have that. So in 1 week I learned how to write meditation track, how to record, how to add music, how to edit, how to upload. And in 1 week, I was approved as a meditation teacher. And also, within 2 weeks' time, I started doing my live meditation sessions. At the time, it was once a week. And then I went to twice a week. And more than a year now, I have been doing twice a week. But what I'm trying to tell you is that remember my goal, I wanted 10,000 people. From May, beginning of May, I started with Inside Timer. From May to the end of the year, end of December, I was at the number over 50,000. I had over my meditations were played over 50,000 times. And you see, like setting your intention without not like that's the thing. Like you need to set your intention and don't worry about the how. How it will be taken care of. If it is meant to like meant to happen, all will take care of itself. And Chris, one thing I want to say, when you invited me for this live event and to like bringing humanity together, it is like when you got me at the word humanity. See, humanity, like my vision, my mission statement is bringing the world closer to calm, one beautiful soul at a time. And everything I do is aligned with that mission statement. And I work for to create a better humanity, better life for every living being without exceptions, um, without any difference for anyone. Hey Jay, thank you for joining us.
Well, hello, Jay. How you doing today, sir?
I'm really, really good. It started out really well this morning on one of my really good friends, now sister. Um, Her program this morning talked about intentionality. And so I think that this is a perfect segue from that into
Mhm.
this. And because um, you got to set the intention, especially if you start out meditating in the morning, you got to set the intention for the day and
Mhm.
meditate on that. And and I think one of the words um that struck me in the art and science of meditating is the word ruminate. Um, do you know the word ruminate? Have you understood the word ruminate? And what does that mean to you? Is what comes to me. Um, and um, I think it's a really powerful thing to consider, especially when you do meditate.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think
and
ruminating is. Mhm.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I'm just kind of wondering.
hmm Uh, I think ruminating is, in a way, to me, sounds like contemplating, like
Mm,
going deeper uh, in a thought or belief or anything that you are working on or focusing on. But obviously, English is not my first language, so we might ask the ones who have English as their first language. I don't know if I'm right, if I'm wrong. What do you say, Chris?
Well, there could be multiple meanings for the very same word, and here's why I say that.
Mhm.
From different parts of the world, and in fact, Jay, remember we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago about the the words that the Polynesians used for those. What was it? The three words. What was it? If I remember right.
oh, yes. So for energy, the word in Polynesian is, or in Hawaiian, is mana. For my ancestors, it was kana, and
Mhm.
India, prana. And so just the very similar sounding names for what we consider energy and aura just spoke to me.
Mm.
And it's funny how he mentions that, because that's what I ruminate on, is those energies, right? That
Wow.
flow through us. Um, and so I think we're in alignment here when we're talking about
Wow.
things in this moment. This is so powerful, um,
Mm.
because we don't even understand sometimes what the metaverse can bring to us, what the omniverse, what the universe can bring to us. And this is, I think, is a huge message for me. And I'm not even meditating.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
that is so true. But see, that's what came up for me when Ipek asked me that question. Well, what that look like and mean to me? And see, for me, everything's interconnected, whether it be words, whether it be energy, whether it be our state of being. It's all interconnected. But for me, it's how we show up to it that matters for that. Because if we're not willing to show up to it, we can show up as one person. And again, that perception is then reality, is that
Mm.
we may end up being completely different than what people really actually see or know and everything. And Craig, I would love for you to join the call. Please click that link. I just sent you a message on the comment section of today's call. We'd love to have you on board. And I just truly believe that. But this is what um, Christina asked of us. It's this
Yeah, I
great
saw
question.
a question there. Yeah.
And she said,
How
I have
long?
a question. How long does the coaching last for, and how is the community of coaches supporting each other? In the era of online meetings, there's a scope of people identifying in their own niche specialization when training as a coach. I like how authentic Ipek has been telling her story and hope. And then she's tagged you and said she would like to connect. Prevention is better than cure, and meditation is prevention and everything like so. How would
Beautifully
you
said.
respond back to Christina?
So, in terms of coaching, she was asking about niche. Well, coaching, yeah, how long coaching should be? She asked first, I think. Uh, it depends. It depends on what we are working on. It is coaching is not one size fits all kind of thing. It is very personal and very tailor made. Uh, Therefore, depending on what is the work we are doing together, we decide and go for, let's say, with my clients, most of the times I start with positive intelligence, that they take the first 6 weeks of positive intelligence foundation program, and then we start the coaching, and that coaching is sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year, depending on the goals. See, like some people have bigger goals that requires more steps to get there, and some people are smaller and shorter time frame goals. So it is very dependent on the expectations and agreements. But in terms of niche, um, many coach feel like I need to have a niche, and it is good to have a niche, but um, what I see is what happened with me. In general, niches find me instead of me deciding what is my niche. Uh, Through the clients who are getting attracted to me. For example, because of my background, as an executive assistant, I have many clients who are executive assistants or in administrative professions. Um, so that's one of my niches, but I am not limited to that. I also have I work with women mainly, like let's say over 40 or around 40 and older, and that's another niche for me, that anybody who's going through a change. I love to work on change because change makes me like uh, energizes me. I love change. And I love to guide people going through change. Or some people come to me with the meaning of, like, they want to make a change, but they don't know how. They have not been courageous enough to take the step and do the change. So I love to plan, like make a plan to make that change happen with that client. So niche finds you rather than you find your niche, in my opinion. Also, she asked one more thing. I cannot remember now, though. But I would love to connect, of course.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
Craig, if you're watching, we would love for you to join the call too as well. Same with you, Christina, and everything. So I got to go to you, Carly, because I know it's been a while since you've been on. But I want to hear from you. What shows up for you right now?
Yeah, the one of the things I wanted to just come back to an Ipek story about this like 10,000 people listening to her meditations, and this conversation about intentionality is about the receptivity in that. It wasn't like a conscious thought, and I think this really connects to ruminating too, because the power of meditation is shifting
Mm.
brainwave state. And our minds are brilliant, our minds are powerful, but depending on where our brainwaves are at, our ego, and there's a lot of like contraction that can come into what our minds are focused on. And by doing practices that allow us to expand beyond just the mind, but the mind is still, messages can still
Mm.
come in. And what I really heard in Ipek's story was it was like a thought that came from beyond. And I think that setting intentions from that place of receptivity, of connecting to something greater, connecting to purpose, just like Ipek said, always connected to her mission. I think that that's
Mm.
so important, and that if we create our intentions from our mind, we can really do it to try to prove something. Or there's a lot of like interference patterns that can come in versus being in that state of receptivity where we're feeling the love, we're feeling our purpose. Then those moments of like 10,000 people, like what I heard is that was not coming from ego, that was coming from something greater, and that
Yeah.
allowed an unfolding. And I think that even the term ruminating, I mean, my first thought when Jay asked that question, I thought of ruminating in kind of a negative light, just because if you're ruminating about something hard,
Mm.
from a place of challenge, it doesn't necessarily help to get out of it. But, rumination, when we're perhaps in a higher state of mind, is something different than that. So I thought it was interesting how all of these things tied together.
What's
Yeah.
your thoughts on that,
That's
Jay?
beautifully said, Carly. Thank you.
Uh, it's it goes back to those 3 words, which is really one thing, and that's the energy, right? And when we have that intentionality and we ruminate on the positivity, and then we meditate, and if we meditate in mass, right, what can we accomplish? What can we accomplish, I think, is the other question. What can we accomplish together in this mindful state, in this meditation, in the fact that we are all ruminating on, let's say we set the intention for positivity and set that as what we want to do for the day. I think it's extremely powerful.
Mm.
Um, let me let me explain to some people if they're listening and they're Christians, and I'll put it to them in this sense. I'm a I'm a survivor of a tornado, right? Um, my mom had called me that
Mm.
day. She asked me if I was okay. She asked if everything um, was okay in the area because she saw a tornado on TV and it was 2.5 hours away. I said we were fine. She said, "Okay, I'm going to pray for you. Make
Mhm.
sure you pray." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And so I don't think Christians understand that prayer is meditation, but I'm going to put it in that sense. Prayer is
Mhm.
meditation. And so
Yeah.
when I was before I entered the house, I sat outside and I was looking around and things were happening that quite frankly frightened me. And I remembered my mom's voice. and the voice came into my head as I was meditating, as I was praying. And I said an outright verbal prayer of, Lord, if anything happens, please just let the tornado pass and let it not affect us, let it not harm us. Just a simple, short prayer. And in that moment, another voice entered, and it was, it's here. And I went around the corner of the house and I looked to the back of the house, and there was, behind the ridgeline, there was a wall of black clouds, but not a funnel. But still, the voice persisted. It's here. I walked inside the house, not run, not hurriedly, just walked inside the house, drew the curtains back, looked again at the ridge line, still just a wall of black clouds, not a funnel. My sister-in-law comes around the corner and asks, "What are you doing?" And I said, out of my mouth, what I heard came the same words. It's here. And she said, "Nuh-uh." She went to the door, opened it, and a gust of wind blew in. And within a matter of 3 seconds, the entire house was destroyed. And we were in the middle of the hallway. And I was underneath rubble. I thought I was dead. But here, I'm going to say that this is the power of meditation. This is the power of prayer and intention. And when you said the words, when you said you heard this voice, I've heard this voice, Ipek. Ipek. So very powerful share. And so I just thought I'd share that
Mm.
with everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and I so agree with you. Prayer also a form of meditation. Meditation is also a form of prayer. And meditation is, as I always say, there are as many ways of meditating as the number of people in the world. There's no one right way or wrong way of meditation. Whatever works for whoever works. That's like something that works for me might not work for you, or something that works for me now might not work for me later. So it is like organic. It changes and it evolves and transforms, like just like everything.
Thank you.
I think Carly wanted to say something.
I don't know if you heard the hawks in the background, but as you were speaking, I unmuted just so that you might, because all of a sudden there were these hawks when the beautiful bird song. Um, and when you're talking about all of the different types of meditation, which, yes, and finding what is most delicious and enjoyable for each of us is the path. And there are incredible studies showing that heartfelt meditation that includes prayer is more powerful than mindfulness alone. Like, and also studies that show the brain, the impact when connected to something greater, shows that it doesn't matter what that something greater is. Any type of religion, any type of like that connection, it could be to nature, it could be to God, it could be to any many different types of God, versus not being connected, versus relaxation. That there's a measurable difference
Mhm.
in how it impacts our brain. There's this incredible book I recommend is called The Awakened Brain, which is incredible what it takes to shift from that default mode network that really narrows our world, where we're just seeing through the eyes of yesterday and seeing through our fears, versus expanding into
Yeah.
actually being receptive to synchronicities and ideas striking us. That if our brain is in that kind of contracted place of fear, like we're not actually open to things other than the narrative
Yes.
that like makes our world so small and makes us see down a tunnel. And so having that prayer, having that expansive feeling that, especially when we find a teacher we resonate with, which I can already tell from talking with you, Ipek. I want to listen to your meditations because I can tell that you have that deep connection, and
Well,
that
on,
completely opens the possibility.
oh, thank you. I would love to have you try my meditations. I have over 80 meditations on Inside Timer platform, and I do, as I said, twice a week live meditation sessions on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and on Wednesdays 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Knowing that you are in California, like in the West Coast, that would be middle of your night, so that wouldn't work. But the Sunday sessions might work for you. On the other hand, I really love meditation, and as I said, like there are kinds of meditations that work for some and not for others, and I really keep an open mind about it. And also, I'm not only like a spiritual meditation kind of person. I also value science a lot, and there comes in play positive intelligence, because with positive intelligence, for example, the daily practices are so great that they are only 3 times per day, only 2 minutes. 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes around noontime, 2 minutes around 3 o'clock. And they are very mini mindfulness and anchoring exercises that even people who don't want to meditate, who are not really into meditation, but they want that peace of mind, they want that lowering stress tool, uh, positive intelligence works really well. And for that reason, I wanted to bring together the spirituality and longer meditations, chanting, like or mantras, any kind of meditation that you can think of that I love and apply and practice with. I wanted to bring the neuroscience and all the science based work through positive intelligence to my work, so that I can uh, I can have tools for both sides of equation, both kind of people. Jay has something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I almost can't contain myself. What, well, because of what I'm hearing, Ipek, it's great. And Carly, the one word I heard that both of you brought was the word science. And it's amazing because science is now only catching up to what faith and the Eastern philosophies have had in their wheelhouse for thousands of years. And so I'm just happy that now we're able to bring the two, and I'm going to say cultures together so that it can benefit humanity, right? Um,
Yes.
and it's something that it's beautiful. And I say this a lot. And I'm going to go back to the energy, right? We've heard it in the 60s as aura, right? Everybody has an aura.
Mhm.
And but when we really look at it, it's really down to energy. And if we look at science, right, electrical impulses come from the brain. Electrical impulses come from the heart, right? And it goes throughout the body. And there are receptive areas in the body that retain this energy. And if it's positive, it's there. If it's negative, it's there. And we have to figure out ways to release this energy or use it effectively. And
Mhm.
meditation does that. And we see it in science and it works. So I'm like, I had to say, I had to jump in. So I appreciate your perspectives and your insights. Can you tell us a little bit more about the science and what it's proving?
Sure. So with positive intelligence, what I've learned is that um, just like the three main colors that create all the other spectrum of other colors, there are only uh, 10 saboteurs that we call voices in our heads, 10 kinds of them. And the first one is universal saboteur. It's called the judge. And everybody has a judge in their mind. And I call mine, actually, some people give a name to their judge in the positive intelligence community. Mine is Voldemort. I don't know if you know Voldemort from Harry Potter books. So I call mine Voldemort. And a client of mine calls the dwarf. Uh, One of them calls cockroach of reproach. So people call, like, name their judge voices. But then there are 9 saboteur accomplices of the judge, like, and they are avoider, controller, hyperachiever, hyper rational, hyper vigilant, pleaser, restless, stickler, and victim. These are all like those 3 colors, that all the judgments about ourselves, about other people, and about the circumstances come from these uh, saboteurs that we have in our minds. And everybody has all of them, but in different levels. For example, my top 3 saboteurs are pleaser, controller, and stickler. So when you find out what are your saboteurs, then you get to the other side and work on sage perspective. Sage perspective is when you have a thought, that thought at the beginning gets into your brain and it automatically goes to the negative direction. Negative. And for every positive thought, we have at least 80 or something negative thoughts, like unbelievable. So with stage perspective, we find out about our saboteurs, and when the thought comes to our mind, we intercept that thought and stop it from going the negative way and pull it toward positive. And how we do that is through this 2 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute exercises that we do every day. And on top of that, when stressful situations happen, we do extra. Then it becomes our go-to tool to do. And it's so easy. Like, let me, can I demonstrate that with you? Okay. So I will like you to close your eyes and take 2 deep breaths. And now I would like you to focus on the sound that you can hear the farthest from you. The farthest sound you can hear. And now come back and try to hear the sound that is closest to you, which might be your breath, your breathing. Now, I would like you to put your thumb and first finger together and like rub 2 fingers to each other in a way that you will feel the ridges of both fingers slowly. And now put both hands together and move your fingers through both hands and feeling the temperature of both hands. Now, I would like you to open your eyes and look at my hair. Look at my hair. Be curious about it. And you're back. So this was a PQ rep, we call positive intelligence repetition. So how do you feel now?
I feel fantastic. And to be honest with you, Ipek, we definitely need to have an event on positive intelligence. And also, this came to mind as you were sharing with Jay, and you actually did an article about it, the power of labels and how they shape the stories
Yes.
from you. And we definitely need to probably have another event even on that, because when I was doing my fingers, Ipek, you're right. You can literally feel the ridges between your
Yeah.
fingers and everything like that. And you know what showed up for me? It was kind of showing me who I am, because I can not only feel who I am, but I'm more connected to who I am. Because again, if you don't know what the right hand is doing compared to the left hand, you don't know what's there. But if you connect it together, it's a great thing.
This is a great exercise to move you from saboteur mode towards sage mode. And this is only 2 minutes. That's it. What did you feel, Jay?
So actually, another message came through, and it was something that I learned as a child. It was Sylvan mind control. That Sylvan method, the connecting the two fingers, the thumb and the finger together, and how that now that I kind of understand it, it's a feedback loop just by that very action, right?
And it is, Jay, it is also like this small, short exercise is a way of anchoring. Because when you know that this exercise will take you from saboteur mode, from the like amped up, like angry or sad or mad or phase or stressed phase toward sage, as soon as like your body learns it, and as soon as you start this protocol, you automatically get to sage mode because you are anchoring it. The moment you put your fingers together, your body remembers that it will go to sage mode.
Wow. And so um, I'm going to, the saboteurs you mentioned. I just thought of my experience immediately after the tornado, and remembering the trauma that occurred, and I just went down the list like, oh my gosh, these were the things that were occurring in my mind. The hypervigilance, like I couldn't sleep. You know, the judge, will I? And I was judging myself. Can you handle this? Can you come away from this? And so the various saboteurs you were mentioning, I was just like, oh wow. And so
Yeah.
I think that had I had these tools immediately following that event, I think I would have been in a better place. But um, I think everything happens in for a reason, but in a season where it's appropriate. And so all those experiences have
Absolutely.
come together in this moment so that I can receive the message much more deeply. So,
You know,
and it's all this alignment.
everybody, everybody in life comes to our life with a purpose and at the right time. When you are ready, it comes to you. So apparently, you were ready now. And by the way, I want to tell you and anybody watching this, I am starting a positive intelligence group in beginning of November, end of October, and it's going to be a 7 people group, and I will like pick and choose people. So because there will be, I know, more people who want to come in, but it's going to be limited to 7 people. So if anybody watching this would like to get information about it and join, please let me know and I will share it with you. Loving.
And I'm going to put this out there, Ipek. We here at Bringing Humanity Together would love to be a part of that. Like I said, I truly believe we should have an event on positive intelligence. And again, like I said, with the great article that you did about the power of labels and how they shape our stories, and we definitely should do that and everything.
Yeah.
So let's get to our final thought.
Actually, just one sec. Actually, that was the article that you read. And then you came to me. Now I remember. That was what triggered you to want to have this with me
Mhm.
as your guest. Yes, I
Yep,
remember now. Yes, and we should do that for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. So let's get to our final thoughts and a call to action. And Monica, you are here with us today. How are you doing today?
Um,
Hello.
It might be some technical issue, but that's okay. She is here nonetheless, and everything. We're glad that you are here. So as Monica's working out all that stuff out right now, Carly, I want to start with you. What's your final thoughts in today's great and engaging conversation with Ipek?
Yeah, I just love that exercise that we did and the power of such a short amount of time to like come into presence in the body, and all of a sudden all of my sensations turned up, and that makes me enjoy life more, really. and
Nice.
I just wanted to also uh just speak to what Jay said about the science and coming together with the wisdom and just presence, the Incan prophecy of the condor and the eagle, and that when the eagle of the north, representing intellect, flies with the condor of the south, representing
Mhm.
the heart and indigenous wisdom, that is when we will awaken. And I just am experiencing that happening right now on this call, and these are the times that we're living in, and I feel very optimistic about our trajectory, even though there are a lot of reasons to feel differently, but whatever we focus on is what grows. So grateful to have been here and part of the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Carly. Thank you.
And that is why we got to talk. Carly's been far too long. We got to definitely let you know on some things. So we'll definitely make that happen. So Jay, what shows up for you in this great and engaging conversations? What is your final thoughts?
So I totally resonate with what Carly just said because a lot of what's been coming through for me in attending LinkedIn audio events is the wisdom of my ancestors speaking to me and speaking through
Mm.
me through the ages. And so to talk about energy, right? If I said this several times before, a lot of people talk about historical trauma and how that follows down through generations to us. But what I don't think everybody is talking about is also the legacy of positivity that has reached us. And we are that apex of that
Yeah.
positivity because by the mere fact that we're here out of a 400 trillion chance to be birthed into this world is a
Yeah.
miracle in and of itself. And it is the positivity that allowed us to come here and share in
Mm.
this moment. So I'm
Oh,
almost brought to
beautiful.
tears
Mm.
because of it.
Yes, yes,
So
I love this, and like I said, I know
Thank you.
after, yeah, and I know Ipek,
Mm.
we definitely need to have an offline chat with not only Monica and Carly and Jay, but everyone here at Bringing Humanity Together because I see we can do great things. And Monica, has your technical difficulties vanished? Are you able to speak?
I am. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Chris. I'm so sorry I missed the call today, but just technical difficulties. And I just I'm not gonna go there. It's past, gone already. But yeah, lovely to meet you, Ipek and Carly.
Thank
And then
Thank
really
you.
sorry that I missed the call. But has that been recorded, Chris?
You can always watch the replay. So that's the great thing about that,
Yeah.
Monica. You can always
I
go
will
back
do.
and watch it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hashtag
absolutely.
replay.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Very good. So, my final thoughts in this great and engaging conversation with Ipek's great and amazing story in and of itself and what she's did with us today, it comes down to this very question for me in and of itself. And I've said this many times on our broadcast, and I'll say it again because I truly believe it's really relevant and it's going to add value to each and every single one of us. It's about knowing who you are. Because if you don't even know who you are, then what's going to end up happening, you will go literally fly by autopilot mode, so to speak, and just literally let life happen to you, not for you. That's a totally different direction. Because when you let life happen for you, you can really be not only in a place of abundance and a better state of being, because you see the opportunities that life gives you each and every single time. And then yet you can see, even like what she was sharing with her story earlier, she did say, yeah, it does take maybe the lowest of the lows to get us to where we want to go. And maybe that's okay. But we don't even have to go that low anymore. We can choose our way forward in a way that creates connection, that can create mission, it can create a vision, it can create a purpose. And we just have to choose that. And we have to be willing to take that step forward, no matter if it's going to be messy, whether we fall, where we have to get back up. It doesn't really matter. We just have to really choose that for ourselves each and every single day. And I truly believe when we allow that to in our lives, and we just see what others see, and then we allow others see what we see, we can have those curious driven conversations to move everybody forward and just take it for what it is and everything like that. And by doing that and allowing that, then that will bring into the next currency that I truly believe that we should all really be focused on. And I truly believe it's going to be the evolutionary step of humanity. And we probably haven't really been seeing it for a very long time. But I truly believe that the next currency of humanity is going to be rooted in value, not money.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah. Because see,
Yes.
if we really start to embrace value to people's Ipek, and we don't really do it from a place of ego or money or position or power or authority, that changes the whole power dynamic into how we connect with people, because we're allowing that to occur. So I just love this. And like I said, I know we can take this so far and wide, and I truly believe we should. So I truly believe all of us should get on a call together and do that and everything and make that happen. So, Ipek, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today on Conversation for Humanity. And like I said before, I would love for you to be a part of bringing humanity together. I believe you'll fit very well in here in our great and amazing family and movement that we have. So I'll go to you, man. What's your final thoughts and your call to action today on Conversation for Humanity?
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity for having me, Chris. And thank you so much, Jay, Carly, Monica, coming and joining us. You really added so much value, so much richness to the conversation. And you are so right, Carly. I have hope, and I know that humanity is on its way to better days, even though there are so many who are trying to make us believe otherwise. It's not the case. And choices, you said, Chris, I'm so aligned with that thought, because every morning when we wake up, we have two choices. One, we can make our day a so-so one. The other one is making our day a really good one. And it's I have one formula of the for this, and I share this with as many people as I can, and I ask everyone to share it with their children especially. Every morning when I wake up, I hold my hands up. Oh, I am so sweaty here. I hold my hands up and I say, "Universe, what gifts do you have for me today?" Because there's the word gift in that. Gift means raising your energy, Jay. Word gift raises your energy immediately because why? It has curiosity in it. It has a surprise. It has a positive something coming your way. So in the morning, please try this. When you wake up, say, Universe, what gifts do you have for me today? And in the evening, when you go to bed, think about what the miracles you've seen that day. Because when you look for miracles, you will see more and more and more miracles happening in your life. So that's how the thought that I want to leave you with today, and hope
Ipek,
to be back soon.
if I can add something, that's beautiful. Really touched my soul. I truly resonate with what you just said. Upon awakening on the morning, I say something. I truly feel that something super exciting happens to me today, and therefore you sort of put yourself in the anticipation, that vibration. And then about the choice, we always have choice, but then there are two pains. There's a pain of regret and pain of self-discipline. So choose your pain, basically, yeah, because obviously one day we can wake up with the thought, what if? And that's the most painful experience, I believe, because you can't turn back
Absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
Thank you.
That was
Thank
very
you,
powerful,
Monica.
Monica. And like I said, I am so humbled and honored, first and foremost, to have each and every single one of you in my life. And I probably wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for each and every single one of you. So, like I said, I will
Mm.
definitely want to have this conversation offline with all of you and see how we can collaborate and really build something out, not only in IPAC's great story and, of course, her great article that she did, and, of course, positive intelligence, and I truly believe we can take that as far as wide as we can do that. And then Carly, I've said this to you before, but I'll say it again for everybody. I would love for you to lead a discussion and conversation about intentionality and flow. I truly believe that will be there too as well. But we got to wrap it up because I got to have a call with one of our team members here at Bring Humanity Together. She's actually waiting for me right now and everything like that. But we definitely make that call happen between all of us. And like I said, Ipek, I can't wait when we are going to do great things together. And like I said, I can't wait for you to be a part of the Bring Humanity Together family and want you to do great things with us here. And again, thank you so much, Jay. Thank you, Carly. Thank you, Monica, for being on the call. And Christina, thank you so much for the great questions and stuff. Please connect with Ipek too as well. So from all of us here at Bring Humanity Together, have a great day. Make your day. I'll be posting Humanity Happy Hour, the audio experience later on tonight. So be looking out for it from our personal page and our business page here at Bring Humanity Together. So you guys have a great day. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Make your day,
Thank
and we'll
you.
see each other tomorrow on Humanity Happy Hour, the audio experience. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank
Have a
you.
lovely evening.